Hello. You all right, Tom?
Hello.
Oh, yeah. Welcome to Modern Art is Rubbish. And today we are going to do a mini episode where we just talk about arty news stories.
So this is like a mini episode, mini 2, episode 27.
Yes. It's a year, isn't it? We've been going for a year. But we'll be doing the celebrations next pod.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So don't put away that party popper that you just pulled out.
Yeah.
That was good acting by me, wasn't it? But people thought that we really had a party popper.
Right, yeah, no, we wouldn't do those sort of things before recordings at all, would we?
Right. Oh, no, not poppers. Party poppers. The ones that go bang. Oh, yeah.
Right, yeah, sorry. Now, I'm a bit I'm a bit distracted because I've been microdosing.
Oh, have you? Yeah. Other supplements are
other
available.
party poppers are available.
So, the first story that I want to talk about, Tom, is an artist, Julian Raven, is suing the Smithsonian Gallery in America for not showing his artwork.
Wow, that's a good one. Yeah. That's something that anyone can get into. Anyone who's not on display in galleries.
Yeah, I'll be suing the National Gallery for not taking that picture that I did when I was 5.
So you've just passed me a picture, and there's a picture of Donald Trump with an eagle on one half, an American flag. So he's suing them because they're not showing it for political reasons. Is that what the case says?
Yeah, he's actually appealing a lawsuit that's thrown out in December, and because he feels his work should be accepted to be hanging in the Rockwell Museum in the National Portrait Collection, which is actually linked to the Smithsonian. And the reason he's actually suing is apparently they infringe his First Amendment and Fifth Amendment rights to due process. Allegedly, the artist thinks the reason his work has not been accepted is because of its politics, and he feels the art world is controlled by very strong left-wing ideologies. So, when he actually, looking at the picture, you can see the picture of Donald Trump, an eagle, an American flag.
And the globe, you can see planet Earth, a section of it in the background behind the
Clearly
eagle. So I'm presuming that's North America.
Yeah. It's averagely painted, I would say. It's massive, that painting, actually, Tom. It took him 600 hours to paint, and it's 8 foot tall and 16 foot wide.
Yeah, it's interesting because it's the sort of image you're more used to seeing on the news. You don't expect images like this to be in an art gallery because Donald Trump is a news favourite. I'm sure news channels all over the world love showing him, and they have little pictures of him come up when there's Trump news, and this would be ideal, a little screenshot for news channels.
That's that, or on the side of some kind of van or something. Someone who's done a paint job. Bing, 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 bing. Can you imagine? He said on his website, he said that after weeks of meditating on this reoccurring vision of Donald Trump, an eagle and the American flag, there was only one way to make it stop. So he had to paint the painting.
Oh, right, yeah. Well, I think a lot of people can probably relate to that because Donald Trump does get stuck in the brain, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I tend to find I mention him quite a lot. It's not like I think about him all day long. He just seems to come out of my mouth quite a lot.
Yeah. It's funny, even in the art world, he's... I don't know why. Apparently he's got a copy of it in his Trump headquarters.
He's got what? Donald Trump. When you say he, are you talking about?
Yeah, Donald Trump's got
he
a copy
with a
of the
capital
painting.
H.
Yeah. The thing is you can imagine he turned up. The guy who painted it turned up to the Smithsonian and asked the gallery director, Kim Saget, this should hang in. He felt that it should hang alongside probably all the other great portraits that hang in there. And he was informed by the director that it was too big, because it is pretty big, as we said, too political. And
I don't know about political. It's kind of status quo, isn't it? And we've been covering Dada, which is always against the system. It seems like art does seem to have a culture of being more against the system rather than painting portraits of the system.
Yeah, but it's also, they said it's not very good. I think that's the key thing. If you spend 600 hours on anything, I think you'd come up with something better than that.
Yeah, so he spent 600 hours and he thinks it's good enough for... Is this like a really big gallery?
Yes.
Yeah,
I mean, Smithsonian's an incredible gallery, and I'll actually put a link on the website to their site because it's such a good collection. I mean,
Donald Trump would love the idea that this guy is suing the gallery because he likes suing people, doesn't he?
Yeah.
But it's like an art piece in itself, actually suing the gallery. It's actually quite, it's quite true to Trump, isn't it? That sort of action.
So currently it's going through the courts. It's so popular at the moment, though. It was actually at the CPAC 2019, which is the Conservative Political Action Conference. So all the sort of right-wing politicians gather so
is this guy, the painter, what's his name?
Julian Raven.
So is he a right-wing political thinker? Is that the...
He looked like a tubby middle-aged guy with a beard. He didn't look like a... But, I mean, if you've had a vision of Trump and an eagle and a thing, you've got to paint it. I can understand that.
Yeah.
I think the one thing I do want to mention, though, is I love this beautiful quote, which was one visitor when looking at this, what they consider to be an incredible picture, because some people do like it. She said, "Beauty is bipartisan." I just think I like to pause and think about that.
Yeah.
And when we put a link on the site, people can decide whether beauty truly is bipartisan or not.
Yeah. So I'm just editing my brain from saying something rude right now.
Yeah. Yes.
About Donald Trump, of course.
Yeah, so we'll wait and see what happens, and if we do get any extra news, we will post it somewhere on it. But again, it's going through appeals at the moment. Right, so on to the next story, which is actually about an art theft, and this was literally about 7 days ago. Italian police have foiled art thieves by replacing an original painting with a copy, and this was after hearing rumours of plans by people to steal the work. And what happened is that thieves broke into a church in the Italian town of Castelnuovo Magra, and they stole what they thought was an original 17th century painting called The Crucifixion by the Flemish artist Peter Bruegel the Younger. Do you know, can I just, as a side note, do you know who Peter Bruegel the Younger's father was? Peter
Bruegel the Elder?
Yeah. Bang on. There you go. So it's a painting that was done in the 17th century, as I said. There's several versions of it out in the public, and what Peter Bruegel the Younger also used to do his own style, but he also used to copy a lot of his father's works as well, which is quite common. So
yeah, it's like when you get twins at school and they mess around with you.
Do they?
I don't know.
Did you have twins at school that messed around with you?
Yeah, well, they pretend to be each other.
Did they pretend each work? Did they claim authorship of each other's works?
It's mine, no, it's mine.
So apparently as well is a few people were actually in on the ruse, and the town's mayor, so the painting had just been stolen, and the town's mayor went on record, and he was actually stating, he was saying, it's such a blow to the town to lose the painting. So this was hours after it being stolen. They had to maintain this kind of ruse.
So they had a tip-off.
Yeah.
The mayor had a tip-off, and the police had a tip-off. Yeah. So they knew it was going to happen. So they switched the painting...
Yeah, installed cameras in.
With a fake, and installed cameras in the church to catch the thieves in the act.
Yes.
So the thieves got away. The mayor said, they've stolen this valuable work. Yeah. So they must have, at that moment, they must have been quite happy.
Yeah, but
thieves.
Now I think they're quite unhappy thieves. No, the police haven't actually caught them yet. So, on to our final story. It's about a release of a paint. To celebrate what would have been the 90th birthday of Yves Klein, a paint company called Ressource is releasing a matte and velvet finish household paint, which is actually very close to the International Klein blue colour. And it will sell at $100 per litre. And you actually get undercoat with that if you were concerned, Tom.
Yeah, so is this a standard price or is this extra expensive?
This is pretty extra expensive for paint, isn't it? 100. Yeah. I mean, but if you actually compare it, if you were to get there was a painting of his, a monochrome, which was 30 inches by 22 inches, which is roughly 78 by 56 centimetres, so not that big. And that in 2016 sold at Sotheby's for £2,165,000.
Well, it was just a blue.
Yeah, just one of his blue monochromes.
Monochrome. So it was just one colour in it.
Yeah. So that, I mean, as we talked about in our...
So this is like this new paint by Ressource.
Yes, the company.
Is that the same colour as that expensive
pretty
painting?
much as close. So you can get a painting that size for pretty much a fraction of the price.
Yes, so this paint is going for this price, this 100. So what is that price made up of? Is it, because obviously you're an artist, you know you get different sorts of paint.
Yeah.
So some like are more expensive than others because they're made of different things.
I think it's because it's an official Yves Klein and it's pretty close to the blue pigment that he had specially made.
So it's not to do with the makeup of the chemicals in this paint. It's just the marketing.
I think it's the marketing and the colour.
Yeah.
I mean, you can still buy his pigment. His blue pigment. Now, for those of you who didn't know, we did an episode about the colour blue, and we featured Yves Klein quite a lot in it. And he created this blue because he was quite interested in the idea of the void, the sky, the beyond. He was quite spiritual. So, you know what I mean? If you buy that, it's a really cheap way of having your own little void at home.
Oh, right. Yeah, absolutely.
Bit expensive though, isn't it? You want to paint it in blue.
Yeah, I mean, if you can get the same paint for cheaper, you get it for cheaper.
Yeah.
And I guess if you bought this paint, you're buying it for not reasons of using it, because it seems like it's more like memorabilia, it seems like.
Yeah, I would, if you came round, nice to get out my litre tub of paint and say, look, and everyone goes, oh, can we take the lid off? And I go, no, because it'll be devalued.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah.
So what would do you know what an equivalent size tin of a different colour might cost?
I suppose probably like 20 quid. What do you reckon? 20 quid for a litre for a good quality paint?
Yeah,
I don't know.
No, in home base. Yeah. Absolutely, yeah.
So you just get ultramarine. Well, it'd be some nice colour, wouldn't it? Be some like a morning blue, morning sunrise blue or something.
Yeah. So okay, so let's imagine we're walking into home base.
Yeah.
Hello, sir. Can I help you? You want some morning sunrise?
Yeah.
No, I want the Yves Klein blue, please. I'm sorry, we only have morning sunrise. No, I want the void, please. Please, the void. What about some nice greys? I don't know the paint colours. What is like a name of a grey?
I don't know.
We have this John Major grey. No, I want the void, please. I want the Yves Klein blue. I have my £100 with me in my hand. Where is this paint?
Steady the ship.
Steady the ship. Steady the shipisms.
Steppy the ship. Oh, I'm Steppy. Okay, so that's it for our little mini news pod. We are going to be doing a special pod next time where we feature your artworks. So if you know anyone who does art, if you do art, We want to see it.
Yeah, well, we already have a few
Yes.
people we're going to talk about, but I
Yeah.
guess we got room for one more. I don't know.
One or two more. So
Yeah.
if you can send us your pictures, or if you've got family members who want to have their pictures featured on the pod.
Or like website links. Have
Yeah.
a look at your website and
Yeah.
we can talk about your work
Yes.
online.
Yeah, so that's and so if you just send a picture to info@modernartisrubbish.com. We do love hearing from you. So if you want to get in contact with us, use the same email address, info@modernartisrubbish.com. And don't forget to subscribe on whatever your preferred pod situation is. I don't know. Also, if you can give us a 5-star review on whatever pod delivery system you use. The other thing is, it does cost us money to run the show, and people like to support us via our Patreon page, which is
patreon.com/modernartisrubbish.
or Patreon.
Yeah.
I call it Patreon.
We also have to pay the carrier pigeons to
Yeah.
carry each podcast episode
Yeah.
on the various services.
Yeah. And please join us on our Facebook page as usual.
Facebook.com/modernartisrubbish.
Yeah. Okay. That's it. It's just bye, Tom. Till next time. Till the anniversary podcast special.
Anniversarial podcast episodes. Join us next time on Modern Art is Rubbish.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
Bye.